George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation. We are here with Fran Dillard. She is the head of Global Diversity, Equity, Inclusion for Micron Technologies. Micron, of course, has made a big announcement. They're investing over $50 billion in the community?
No, it's $100 billion. How did you get that wrong?
You know what? See? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. $100 billion. I don't know why I said 50. Yeah, I'm trying to give y'all half the money. $100 billion investment
get that
in
right.
Syracuse in Central New York.
Yes.
And so, Fran, you're here, of course, as part of the Dream Summit. What's your message? What was your message today as part of DEI and the importance of DEI?
My message is that DEI still is a very critical focus for us as a nation, us as a corporation, and us here at Micron. It's central to all of the work that we're doing here as we invest $100 billion. We're making sure that we're driving for full participation, right?
Yeah.
And we don't want anybody left out. We are working with our diverse suppliers to make sure they're trained and they're developed and they know how to access these opportunities through Micron. And so that's important. I mean, we're investing in our schools and, we are really trying to build the skills and the capabilities. We talked about preparing the workforce that we're going to need to be successful in semiconductor right here in Central New York. And we're putting a lot of focus and money and dollars around that. We've got a $500 million community investment fund that we're partnering with the state and the government to ensure that we can support whether it's local school district programs or university and community colleges. We're serious about why DEI matters.
So I'm assuming that I asked you a question about Micron, like as if everybody knows what's going on. Can you just back that train up a little bit and tell people what you're actually doing here and what Micron is? Yes.
So Micron is one of the leaders in leading edge memory, manufacturing leading edge memory. We're a semiconductor, we're in the semiconductor industry. We announced back in October-ish, I'm not sure the exact date, that we're going to come here to Central New York, in Clay, New York, and build a fab of the future. And we're going to invest $100 billion in building those facilities. And so it's about 2.4 million square feet of fab space that we're going to have, where we're going to manufacture those wafers and those chips that will fuel the economy here in the U.S. If you think about it, semiconductor industry was founded here in America. And the fact that we're going to come back and we're going to revitalize this area, we're going to invest in it right here in Central New York, is just a big deal. We're all excited.
And for those of you who are outside of Central New York, Clay, New York is just north of Syracuse,
New
York.
That's right.
Just
it's all
north.
one area, one big family.
Look, we're claiming y'all.
I know.
So I asked you, I wanted to ask you about the business case for DEI, because it seems to me we're under a different, there's a lot of questions about whether DEI is necessary, the affirmative action, gunning in certain places, the business case for it.
What I would say is, why do I have to reinvent the business case for DEI? DEI has been around for many years. The business case has not changed. We know that when you have a diverse population, you have better outcomes. All the data's out there. You've got plenty of data to go support that. It's concerning and uncomfortable that we have these attacks against DEI, but what I will say for Micron, we see DEI as a competitive advantage, and that's how we've used it. We've come into the communities, we're working with marginalized communities. We are driving full participation. When we do, for example, supplier diversity training, where we are really making sure that diverse suppliers know how to do business with us, they know how to access, that's for everyone.
Sure.
We specifically have an outreach for the historic groups and underrepresented groups that typically don't have access. We are being intentional about making sure that everyone knows how to do business with us, including communities that traditionally have been left out.
And I can say, just knowing you and knowing what the company's doing, y'all are all over the place.
We are everywhere.
You really are.
We're in universities. We're with the, we're at the zoo.
Y'all.
We just had a huge investment over at Most.
Yes.
Where I saw the young the young student in 8th grade, just talking about how do I know there's a place for me. The fact that we've invested in that exhibit at the most, where any young person here in Central New York can go and learn about the semiconductor industry and how they can have a career is amazing. I mean, we're serious about this.
And speaking of diversity, we heard President Malhotra talk about even doing a Spanish language. Will it be taught in Spanish?
It's a Spanish language, girls going tech.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fantastic.
So that's an example, right?
That's an example, and it's just one of the many, many ways that we are investing, engaging, and supporting the community and bringing people along with us.
Yeah.
We got 20 years that we've committed
over
to.
20 years.
Yeah, so we're just at the beginning, right? And I think there's evidence you get questions about how, I'm skeptical is are you going to do this? I mean, we had environmental testing out on where we're going to break ground for the facilities. Yeah, we're serious.
All right, we always ask our guests to leave our audience with something to do. So what would you tell them to do?
Dream big.
Mm-hmm.
I love the theme of this conference, especially for young people, because when you dream, there's no limits.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've heard that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Fran Dillard is proof there's no limits. She's the head of global diversity for Micron Technology Global. So that's all over.
That's right. 17 countries.
17
where we
countries.
are.
All right.
I'm headed to Singapore.
Right now.
Right now.
There you go, Fran Dillard. Thank you so much. Inspiration for the Nation.